What's up, everyone? Welcome back to my channel. This is Wheel Life. My name is Tim. I am a C5 quadriplegic since 2003. I do videos about living my best life with a spinal cord injury and all my paralyzed shenanigan videos. I do a pop-up lives once in a while and panel live, and I'll do Quadcast podcast and sticking with the Spinal Cord Injury Awareness Month. Today we're going to be talking about caregiving, and I have a special friend on with me today, and you guys have seen her on here a few times so far. Let's bring up Sarah. What up?
Hi, everyone.
Sarah's been a caregiver for how many years?
Well, it depends. Are we talking strictly spinal cord injuries or just a caregiver in general? Because when I first started, I worked with a company that worked with people that had mental and physical disabilities just kind of across the board. But as far as specifically spinal cord injuries, it's been 4 years.
Okay, awesome. So most caregivers usually, or I guess you guys call them carers, right? Or either.
Care aides.
Okay.
Yeah, whatever.
Care aides. So most people work with like one injured, one person with a disability or whatever. Sarah actually helps what, 3 guys?
3, yeah. I'm part of a small team.
Oh, a whole team?
Yeah.
Nice. And you've been there for 4 years?
Yeah, I've been with these guys for 4 years.
Okay.
Before that, I worked with a young man that had muscular dystrophy. So although he didn't have a spinal cord injury, he was paralyzed from the neck down.
Right. Okay. Let me do a quick say hello to everyone here. And I want to apologize for
show me some comments. Come on, people.
My technical difficulties before I came on here.
Yeah, it's all your fault.
What's up, Joe? Hi, Kristen. Hello, Rhonda. Austin, Sharma. Tim shaved. Yeah, I can't grow a beard anyways. What's up, Chaos Divers? What's up, Joe? Ned. What's up, buddy?
Morning.
Mitch. Hey, Kiara.
Hey, Kiara.
And if anybody has any questions, you're more than welcome to ask. I will try to get to them as quick as I can. If I don't get to them right away, pop it up again. You guys know the routine. That's me. I'm the babe.
Yeah.
You guys ever seen the Labyrinth? I'm the babe with the pout. You know what I'm talking about? Have you seen the Labyrinth?
It's really hard.
David Bowie. David Bowie. Is it David Bowie? Right. All right. Well, before we even start, we got a question from Ty. Is it hard to take care of a moron like Tyler?
That's probably the easiest part of my job.
Yeah, I don't think he's too bad. He's doing good. Sarah, what is your schedule in a day?
That's a great question, actually. So my schedule when I work, I'm typically 4 days on, 3 days off. That's just kind of how it's worked out. And when I work in a day, usually it's a split. So either just a couple hours in the morning and then a longer shift in the evening, or a longer shift in the day and then back for just a couple hours at bedtime.
Nice.
Yeah. Which works perfectly because then in between I can go home and squeeze in a nap.
Awesome.
Priorities.
Naps are life.
Yeah.
Kira Go channel. David Bowie. Okay, cool. So, and did you have any special like training to be a care aide?
No, I'm not actually certified or anything like that. When I first started, like I said, I worked with this company that kind of helped everybody, and they gave me certain training. So I'm actually like certified in restraints and all sorts of stuff.
Uh-huh.
But you didn't have to be certified care aide to hire on with them. And so that just kind of gave me a lot of training. Like I learned tube feeds and all sorts of stuff, but
Nice.
I'm not actually, I didn't go to school for it. I just picked it up along the way.
Yeah, some of my best care attendants, I guess I call them helpers, whatever, care attendants, you can call them, they go by many names and faces, but some of my best helpers were friends, not friends, but friends I hired off the street, or I hate to say it like that, but they kind of were just like a self hire,
Yeah.
no formal training or anything like that. That way you can kind of train them how you need, and they don't come with any like special training already.
Yeah, I know some care aides that have been doing it for a long time.
Oh.
Yeah, you can try.
Kristen says restraints. Sometimes those can be even better. When did you know you wanted to be in the kind of line of work, or how did you get into that?
It was actually a total fluke. I had been working in retail for a number of years, and then I can't remember who it was. A family member said, "Oh, like there's this company in town that you should hire on with because it pays like double what you're making working at this, retail store."
Sweet.
So I thought, "Oh, I can do that." And it just happens to be a really good fit for my personality.
That's awesome. Yeah. It does take a special person to do like care attending, care aides.
Well, I don't know about that. Everybody says that to me, and I don't really think that. Like, not saying that I'm nothing special, but I find it really easy. So I don't know. Maybe it would be difficult for some people, but
right.
Yeah.
You just have to have more. Same with like nursing. It takes a special person to like care and show that compassion. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Towards like your needs and your special needs in general.
Yeah.
There you go. Sarah definitely has a good personality.
Screenshot.
Right? Yeah. Please put a link in, Sarah, so I can add. Oh, okay, gotcha. Talking to somebody else. Hey, Marilyn. Hey, Ange. Hey, Norm3. What do you have any favorites? Favorite things about that you like or love about being a caregiver? Like, anything?
Am I allowed to say everything?
No,
there's really nothing that I particularly dislike. I guess I like working with the people that I work with because I am a bit of a homebody. I'm a bit of a recluse. Like, I don't go out a lot. I don't have a big social circle.
Right.
So, having these 2 or 3 people that I work with, and and I see on a regular basis, that's like my interaction.
Yeah, some people work better in a small team, or even on their own, rather than a large group like Walmart or whatever it may be.
Yeah.
Some people do better by themselves.
I'm not a social butterfly. I like having just my little group.
How many people do you have on at like a certain point?
Sometimes it's just one person. Every morning there's 2 girls on for a couple hours, and every other evening there's 2 girls on for a couple hours. So there's a bit of overlap, but really you don't see any of the other girls a whole lot.
Right. They're kind of doing their own thing with the other.
Kind of works well that way, though.
Right. Thank you for the super chat, Nathan, man.
Whoa.
Rock on. That background looks like where Yoda's been hiding for 1,000 years. That's awesome. I thought about having the background that moves around, but I don't know if it was like distracting in a way to people.
Mitch, your nerd is showing. I love it.
And if you have anything to add or anything that you want to talk about, or any funny stories or anything that
Well,
on your right, yeah,
Ty's on here. I can't.
yeah, we'll keep it to a minimum. I did not have a big social circle either, so people would work with me, right? That's awesome.
Right? It works.
And that's another thing is when you have like certain helpers that you kind of make a friendship with, and that you kind of more rely on, and you can like almost like trust. Like in I have the same thing with my helpers, that you kind of build that friendship with, where you can joke around, you can laugh with, and that stuff's important.
It is. Yeah.
Most embarrassing Thai story. Uh-oh.
Let me get out my list.
Yeah. Caregiving for somebody you're in love with, your thoughts. I I can't really add to that. I mean, you have like friends. Like I've had a friend that, like my best friend, helped me for I don't know 8-ish years, and it was one of the best times of my life. Honestly, like just we had a lot of fun times. Really, it's easier to um, like just do things with, rather than somebody that is just kind of like a bah humbug that you know what I mean, you can't get along with. But Sarah's jokes hurt my feelings. She always makes me laugh. Tells me I have no brain. What? I doubt that.
It's just a joke. Yeah. I like to razz Ty. He likes to razz me, and it works.
Right, exactly.
I haven't had to use them yet. Chaos. But, it depends. If Ty pisses me off a lot one day, you never know.
Right. Yeah, don't piss her off. Yeah, dude, definitely. It's hard to lose carriage you've worked with for years. Yeah, all that training goes into somebody, and then like, they just kind of like see you later. And sometimes it's a good, it's a good goodbye. It's not like a bad goodbye. Like, I thought about actually writing a book about some of the experiences I've had.
You should.
Right, I've been.
Heartbeat.
I can't imagine. I tried to count one time, and I got to like I don't know over 50, and I was still going. So I've had many, many, and it's not that I'm so much a bad person. It's more that they're not a great fit, really, or great. Some people just suck at work ethic.
Well, and even if they leave, it's not a reflection on you. I mean, sometimes life takes them in a different direction.
Exactly. Do you have any worst parts about being a carried?
Any worst parts?
Anything you don't care about doing?
I don't think so.
It's not a big deal.
No,
I really
don't think so. The dog chewing on my slippers. That's about it.
What's that?
I said when the dog steals my slippers to chew on them.
That's awesome. So is there more than one dog there? Or is it just...
Yeah, there's Sushi and then Ginger.
Oh, nice.
Ginger is Rick's dog.
Do they get along good? Are they like buddies? They have their moments.
Sushi is like a wise old man, and Ginger is like a psychotic teenager.
So Sushi's kind of like Ty, like...
Yeah.
A wise old man.
Just chill, just easygoing, and then Ginger is just like crazy.
You guys together, just professional relationship. Was that?
It's like with
yeah, no. Sarah's married, and then I am just me with my helpers. Sarah doesn't like seeing you in pain.
No, that's really hard on me.
Yeah, you went through a lot with Ty, his backlip and pump issues and stuff like that.
Yeah,
I couldn't imagine that.
That was a long road.
If anybody hasn't heard, if you want to give like a quick synopsis of that.
If Ty doesn't mind me telling the story. Yeah.
That's up to you, Ty. If you want to, if you don't mind, Sarah, tell the people all the ways you scared.
Oh, okay. Well, there's zombie attacks.
Zombie attacks.
Zombie attacks. So when I, like go to lean him forward, he'll snarl and pretend to bite me, and it makes me scream and jump. Well, pretty much anything makes me scream and jump. Last night he put on a scary movie, and there was like how many jump scares in it, and each one did make him jump. And I just about like threw his food everywhere because it made me jump so hard. He'll hide around corners and like spook me when I come around the corner.
I do that too.
He's beeped me with his chair many times. Even when like something loud comes on in the van, when we start the van, it connects to his phone and starts playing something, it'll make me jump. I'm a very jumpy person. It's very easy. Okay, Tyler's back to the story. So when was that? 2017? He went for a routine baclofen pump replacement because it has to be replaced every 7 years. And so something went wrong in the surgery, and after about 24 hours, he went into like severe withdrawal, and then his heart stopped because all of this stuff. And they rushed him back into surgery and replaced the pump again. And then it seemed to be like, okay, he's stable now. So it must have been a faulty pump. And then, about 3 weeks later, he started getting really spastic and really itchy and, all the classic symptoms, but we didn't, we thought, oh, it should be fine. He ended up spasming so hard we had to rush him to the hospital, and they had to put him on propofol, which is a heavy duty. That's typically what they use in like surgeries and stuff.
Right.
They had to sedate him, and then the spasms seemed to stop, so they sent us home. And that happened every couple weeks for the next year. He would start getting really spastic, and he would spasm so hard that it would take 3 of us to hold him down. It was terrible. And there was a couple really, really bad episodes where his temperature got so high just from all the spasming, right? Because it's like a workout. And then, of course, that would raise his blood pressure, and his heart rate would be through the roof. So there was...
It is wicked.
Yeah, there was one particularly bad episode. They didn't get on the propofol quick enough, and I really thought I was watching him die. Like, it was his blood pressure and his heart rate was through the roof, and he was saying that his heart hurt, and I think he knew it was pretty close. So after about a year, there was this one doctor that stepped in and said, okay, this isn't right. We're going to replace the pump. We're going to pull everything. And if that doesn't work, then we're out of options. So they ended up replacing the pump again, but then this time they replaced the catheter that goes from the pump into the spine. And when they replaced that, they found that the connection from the baclofen pump to the catheter had degraded. And so sometimes it was leaking baclofen into his abdomen instead of going where it's supposed to go, which was causing these episodes of severe withdrawal. And the most frustrating part was, in this year, every time he went to the hospital, every time he saw this doctor, they did tests. They said, no, it works fine. They said, oh, you have spinal stenosis. That's what's causing these episodes. Oh, you have too much gas. That's what's causing these episodes. When all along we said, these are all the symptoms of baclofen withdrawal.
Right.
Yeah.
It sucks when doctors don't listen to you, and you just know that.
Yeah.
Even if you don't exactly know that, but something ain't right, and they don't.
Yeah, well, yeah, that's the thing. We thought at one point maybe the catheter had slipped in his spine, so it wasn't putting the baclofen in the right place,
right,
or something like that. We knew it was an issue with the pump system, but yeah, a lot of the doctors just wouldn't listen.
Sorry, I'll turn it off before I continue. Go ahead.
That's okay. But yeah, he got a new baclofen pump and everything on May 14th of last year, and he's been episode free ever since.
That's awesome. Yeah, Kira said, wow, Tyler, I'm glad you're okay. And Sarah, I'm glad you were there with him. Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, I spent a lot of time in the ICU just watching him sleep. I know it sounds creepy, but after every near-death episode, you know, seeing him sleep was like the best thing ever.
Yeah,
Even if
it's
it was, you know, like a massive drug-induced sleep.
but it's probably relief from all the spasming and all the pain that, you know,
Yeah,
that comes with those spasms.
It was as bad as the propofol was. It was like we knew he was going to live, you know, another time.
Yeah, moral of the story: appreciate every moment of your life and learn to enjoy living with the present instead of what might happen. Exactly, dude.
Yes.
Wise words.
Yeah. I'm glad that you survived all that so that I can enjoy nowadays with you.
Yeah. Whew.
Yeah, I know, right?
Yeah. I'm glad you guys are still, or Ty's still here. Like, I'm glad that, you know, he made it through that. And,
Yeah.
you know, I got a chance to, you know, meet him and hopefully meet him in real life. You,
Yeah.
both of you.
Yeah.
Any advice you have for someone that's just starting as a caregiver or care aide?
Yeah. Patience is a really important thing, whether it's, you know, being patient with yourself to learn all the routines and, you know, how people like certain things, and patience with the person you're working with. I mean, nobody's perfect. I'm not perfect. I have grumpy days. You're not perfect. You have grumpy days. It's how it is. But as long as, you know, you can.
That was like your face.
Yeah, that was your grumpy face. Um,
On a happy note.
yeah.
But yeah, definitely. And another thing about having good and bad days. Sometimes it's easier, or not easier, but better to leave the baggage. What do they say? That leave your baggage at the door or something like that.
Yeah.
And because the person that you may be helping is having a rough enough time as it is, they need a laugh. They need somebody that's gonna, you know, make their day better, not kind of
Yeah.
worse. But
But that goes both ways too. Like, you don't
exactly.
know what a carrier has gone through or what
Yep.
they've experienced in their day before they get to you. So if they're dealing with a lot, they might not be, you know, like the most cheerful, or they might, you know, their mind might be elsewhere. They might forget some things. But yeah, it goes both ways. As long as we just treat each other with kindness, then everything will be good.
So true. And if you're that carry, if you're that individual with, and if you can make them laugh or joke, it might help them.
It
You know?
makes a world of difference. Yeah.
So true.
I worked with one individual. I was just telling Ty the other day, who was verbally abusive every day. And whether that's someone you work with or, you know, someone else in your life, dealing with that verbal abuse makes it very difficult. So being able to work with someone who will, you know, treat you kindly, it makes a world of difference. And if you can laugh and have fun, that's just even better.
Yeah, for sure. I'm perfect no matter.
That's what I keep saying.
Or not.
That's what I keep saying.
Hey, Rhonda, I don't know if I said hello yet. Yeah, Tyler, I'm glad you pulled through that in Sarah. So thankful. Yeah, for sure. That's very true, Sarah. Your lives as well. Exactly. Then when you get that, you build that relationship with somebody that you know the things that'll make them laugh, or like the things, how to pick on them. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
So it makes it easier.
Yeah, if you can get to that point with someone that you work with, it can be life-changing.
Did you want to hit on any bad stories about any other carrieds in the past, like the distant past or anything? Or
Yeah, there was one girl, the guy that I worked with before I moved here. He was, you know, shoulders down, and he had given his carried his debit card, like he did with every other carried. They would go into town and grab his snacks or whatever he wanted, and it turned out that she had been over months doing this, like, check bouncing scam thing. I don't know.
Really?
She'd been stealing from him thousands of dollars, basically drained his bank account. So they tried to press charges, and the RCMP basically said, well, you gave her your PIN number, so there's nothing we can do. So they couldn't press charges.
That's horrible.
Yeah. So they fired her. What else they could do? So when I learned this, I drew up like a, I don't want to call it a spreadsheet, but like a money in, money out record keeping thing, so that I could show, like, because someone once said you can't just be honest, you have to be seen to be honest. Like, you have to show you're trustworthy. But at the time, I was still working with that company, just doing night shifts. And I went into the office one day to pick up a paycheck or something like that, and I overheard her name. And I was like, did you say so-and-so? And they're like, oh, yeah, do you know her? We just hired her. And I was like, oh, do I have a story for you? And so I told the receptionist, just, bullet point what she had done to this other individual. Because that company dealt with hundreds, maybe thousands of people. So if she stole from every house, she could make so much money. So I said, this is not a position that she can be in. And so the receptionist said, well, would you be willing to put that in writing? And then I can submit it to the, the president or whatever. And I was like, absolutely. I won't put any names because, I don't necessarily have his permission to tell his story. And no charges were ever laid. So technically it's just hearsay. But I said, but I will put my opinion in writing. Right. And I don't believe she got the job.
That's awesome. Good.
Yeah.
Sarah, tell them about the warm chocolatey dog food that I feed my dog.
So, Sushi eats canned dog food. And so I put it in a bowl, warmed it up, added all his vitamins or whatever, like I always do. And Ty said, oh, let me see. And so he gave it a big whiff, and he said, oh, that smells really good. It smells like chocolate. You should smell it. So I stuck my nose and gave a big smell. No. It did not smell like chocolate.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
I thought for sure you're going to be like, he just smacked it in, like pushed it in my face, and like kind of like you do with the kids. Ideas. Yeah, maybe I shouldn't give him any ideas. I'm glad he pulled through. I'll come for you, so be scared.
Can I tell one of I've done a few pranks on Ty. Can I tell one of the good ones? I might have told it before. Okay, so I hooked Sushi up for Ty to go take him for a walk, and he said, okay, you're going to be with Rick, so I'll come knock on Rick's door when I'm done for you to take the leash off. For 8 months. 8 months this took. I had stashed a cup of chocolate pudding in Rick's room for the next time he came for me to take Sushi off the leash. Of course, I did it right when fall hit or whatever. So all winter, I didn't get to do it. So first walk of spring, so he went for a walk, and I went in Rick's room, and I was like, oh, we get to do the prank. So I put on a rubber glove, and I smeared chocolate pudding all over. I got some on my arm. I got some on my face. And he came and knocked on Rick's door for me to take Sushi's leash off. And I opened it, and I was like, hold on. I'm in the middle of something. He backed out of there so fast. And I'm like, wait. I can take it off with my other clean hand. Oh, wait, look, I got some there too. And he's backing out of there so fast. It's like, no, not going to happen.
You should have reached out and grabbed it and like kind of just wiped some on him on accident.
I would have if I had been able to get close enough. I have never seen someone nope out of there so fast. Yeah.
Nope out of there. I love that.
Yeah.
He put it in high gear. It
was like that YouTube video of that little girl that her mom puts pudding on her arm and says it's poop, and the little girl's talking and blah.
Yeah. Is that poop? What? That's so awesome.
Yeah, it was like that.
And that's all. Thank you.
Oh, thank you, Kara.
That's awesome.
Yeah. And so I've done a few pranks like that. That was one of the good ones, though.
That is great.
Yeah.
Any others that you could think of off the top of your head? He was disgusting. That's awesome.
It was so worth it. 8 months I waited for that.
Perfect opportunity.
Yeah. Well, the other good one I did, I actually enlisted someone's help. But yes, I got my real life on.
Yeah. Represent.
So we use like orange or juice pitchers to drain drainage bags and then empty them that way. So there was in Cody's room, he had this one type of juice pitcher. Yes, I'm going to tell him.
That's funny. You guys are like on the same BSP. Go ahead.
Bye, Kira. Yeah, so this girl that, like this other girl that was working there at the time, said that she had the same type of juice pitcher. So I got her to bring it, and then ahead of time, I planted it under Cody's bed, and a pitcher, like a little carton of apple juice too. So when it came time to drain his bag, I knelt down. Of course, he couldn't see me, and instead of draining his bag, I cracked the apple juice into the clean pitcher. Glug, 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 glug. And then as I'm doing this, I'm saying, oh yeah, I watched this really cool documentary about people that drink their urine, and then by the taste, they can tell what they're lacking. So like if it's sweet, they need more iron or this and that. And so I stood up and Cody goes, oh yeah, tell me what I'm lacking. And so I said, okay. And I swigged it, me knowing it was apple juice. But initially he was just like, what? What
is going on here?
And then I did the same thing to Ty. I planted the clean pitcher and the apple juice under his bed. And same thing, I'm saying, oh yeah, I watched this documentary about people that drink their pee, and same thing. He's like, oh yeah, tell me what I'm lacking. So I was like, do you dare me? Okay. So I took a big swig, and same thing. He kind of knew that something was up. He kind of knew he was being pranked. He just wasn't sure how, because of course it sounds like I'm opening the bag and whatever.
Right.
Yeah, it was very well done, I must say.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Well set up. Ty, do you have any other stories that you wish her to to tell? I want to hit on a few points about like good caregiving. Like one would be like any job really is like showing up on time. Because somebody is depending on you to be there, when they need them, whatever their schedule may be, or, if they have something going on.
That is probably my biggest failure, I would say, at the period. I tend to run, just a couple minutes late. Either I don't, I leave and then there's too much traffic, or, usually.
And that happens. It does happen. I have helpers that are late all the time, but it's all right. But in the instance I would have something going on, I kind of make sure like to let them know, something's going on, be there a little bit early, but I'm running for a school thing. Thanks, Kristen. Thanks for hanging out for a little bit.
Hi, Kristen.
Take care, K2. But yeah, like, if somebody depends on you, and like another thing like you were talking about is trust. You got to have that trust. If somebody needs to run to the store and use your card or whatever it may be. I've actually had a helper while I was here in my own home facing the opposite way, steal money out of my wallet. And so, yeah, you got to definitely have that trust, whether it's, the individual that needs the care or the care aid. Punctuality, extremely important. Yeah, dude. The person with disability has to be patient. Exactly. Yep. Very important. I'm probably one of the most patient persons, and I always get yelled at for it too.
I'm worse than Michelle, though. I swear, I'm late like 2 minutes every day.
Hello, Willa. Great video. Thank you. Appreciate that. If anybody has any more questions, you're more than welcome to ask.
I have a question for you.
Sure.
What are your thoughts on that professional versus personal boundary? Like, if you really click with one of your helpers, do you feel the need to keep things, like somewhat professional all the time, or are you okay, like, being friends with them as well?
yeah, as long as both people are kind of on the same page, I think it's all right. Especially like, if say if like I had a helper and or a friend that turned in helper, whatever it may be, and they wanted to like go out or do something, aside from work, whatever. Um, as long as you're on that same page and stuff like that, and kind of talk it out, and just let it, let each other know that there's something more there, I guess. So I guess it's all right.
As long as you're both on the same
Yeah,
page.
yeah, definitely. Michelle gets the award. Can you see the comments on your side?
I can't see them unless you do that and you click on them.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Hmm.
I thought it was just when I was on my phone, but even on the computer, I can't see them. I don't know if I'm doing something wrong. Can anybody else see them when they're on the line?
I thought so. Maybe. Yeah, when I go on with other people, it can, but maybe there's something. Maybe something needs to be clicked or something. But
I want to just keep clicking on the good ones. So that excludes Ty, but click on Ty's anyways.
I'll try. But also that when there is, say, you have a bad carrier or a bad helper, there's kind of a silver lining in that as well on what to look out for. It's kind of like use it as a learning tool to look out for things like, theft and, where to keep your finance, your wallet and things like that. Different training aspects that that's awesome. Sorry, lost my train of thought when I read that. Bad sushi. Yeah. Does anybody else have any more questions? Ty, do you have any burning questions for Sarah?
Now is the time to ask.
Yeah.
I can't lie, I'm live.
Or Sarah, if you have any more questions or anything else that you'd like to add, you're more than welcome.
I don't think so.
Have you always lived in the area where you live? I know some people haven't seen you. Most people know you, but
No, I'm actually originally from Manitoba, which is like central Canada. And I moved out to BC about 10 years ago, but I lived up north. So then I only moved here about 4 years ago.
Oh, okay.
Oh, no, you're smiling.
Will you be there when Ty throws up?
Yes.
Is it hard to be around vomit?
Everybody has their thing, right? Everybody has their thing that they have a tougher time dealing with. Vomit actually isn't as bad for me as like gagging. Like if that's what Ty does to get me sometimes is he'll pretend to gag. And when he does that, it like activates my gag reflex.
Right.
This is not fun.
Yeah, I kind of am along the same lines where like if you're, drinking or whatever and your buddy starts like throwing up, it's like when you hear it, it's like, oh.
Oh, see when you do that. You did it earlier and I was like, But yeah.
Yeah, Ty said fake gag. That's awesome.
Well, see, he likes me better.
So you drive most of the guys around, right?
Yes.
Like in their vehicles. Do they all have their own vehicle, or do they kind of just share
Okay. Yeah, all three of them have their own van.
Nice.
Yeah.
Do you have a favorite van that you drive around?
Yeah. Ty's is the nicest, I gotta say.
Nice.
Yeah.
You gotta have a good ride, right, Ty?
Yeah. Cody's is quite difficult to start, so it really intimidates me. But I've been able to start it the last few times, so it's okay.
Nice. That's like my old one. I had a rough one. It got real bad real fast.
Yeah.
Living where it snows, you guys don't get a ton of snow, right?
Not in Kelowna, but when I lived up north, oh my goodness. I actually, the guy that I worked with, he lived with his parents, and his parents would go to work at like 7 or 8 or whatever. But I only started at, like say 9:30. So he was by himself for like an hour and a half, 2 hours every morning. And he had no, like call bell system. He had no emergency phone system. He had no way to call for help if the carry didn't show up. So it was really important to me to make sure that I could get there every day. Now, he lived 45 minutes away from me, out in the middle of nowhere in the boonies, massive snowdrifts. And so I actually bought an SUV with all-wheel drive so that I could make sure that I got to him every day, because if I didn't, he had no way to call for help and he'd be alone in bed all day.
Damn, that'd be scary.
Yeah. I finally got rid of that SUV this year, though, last year. That thing was a gas guzzler.
Oh, I bet. I used to, before Siri, the days of Siri, which I still don't like that when my phone is upside down, Siri doesn't work. I don't care for that. Even though one time I tried it on live and she answered me, but I don't know. But normally when she's upside down. When my phone is upside down, it doesn't like answer back. But before the days of Siri, I didn't really have any way to get a hold of anybody. Like, say if I would lay in bed and I'd roll too far back a little bit and I couldn't reach my phone or whatever, because I used to have like a landline before the days of like, I mean, cell phones were around, yeah, but they weren't like as common as they are now. So I'd have to yell or like do whatever I could to get somebody's attention. So those days definitely sucked. So I kind of feel them on that.
Yeah, I'm really grateful for all the technology nowadays.
Most definitely. Do you feel like you become a better judge of character? Absolutely, man. That's a great question. Yeah, for sure. After hiring so many different people and what to look out for, you kind of just have that third, whatever, sixth sense or seventh sense or whatever they call it, about, just like that, dealing with different helpers. Because I had a helper one time that came in first shift, and she said, "Hey, my friend's going to drop something off." I said, "All right, that's fine, whatever." She went outside for a few minutes, probably maybe 15, 20 minutes, and came back in, and she was like wiping her nose a lot, and she had a history of drug abuse and stuff like that. So I had a feeling she went out and did some sort of drug or whatever. So yeah, you definitely have that sense of what to look out for. Sorry, wrong comment.
Oh, I thought he was telling you again.
Oh no, I clicked the wrong one. I'm at work, so I can't hang. Just drop by. Oh, thank you, Turnbird. Appreciate it.
So have you had any helpers that surprised you? Either you hired them and you thought they'd be really good and they turned out to be not so good, or you hired them kind of thinking this might not work out and then they, turned out to be great?
Yeah, a little bit of both. Not too far in the recent past, I had a girl start and things worked out wonderfully. Showed up on time and all that good stuff, and then kind of just left me hanging one time or one day or whatever. And it just went south real fast. And I thought that it was going to be a good fit and whatever, but whatever came up on her end. But so, yeah, things happen, and you just kind of gotta trudge through the crap. And
Yeah.
it does suck trying to find new helpers, carrieds,
Absolutely.
and especially finding the good ones and keeping the good ones. But it is what it is.
Yeah.
How is it? Do you guys have like a Hoyer lift?
All three of them have ceiling lifts.
Oh wow, that's awesome.
Rick has a Hoyer that he keeps in his van because he has what's it called? He's got a bike,
Okay.
like a recumbent bike kind of thing. So he uses the Hoyer if he, like goes out for a bike ride in the trails. He can use the Hoyer to get into his bike and out.
That's awesome. Like one of those like pedal bikes.
It's like an arm bike.
Yeah. You might have to show me a picture sometime.
Yeah, what is Rick? He's like a C5, C6. But he's classified as a quad because of his hands and his muscle strength. But he has the movement of both arms, so that's how he can cycle the bike.
Sweet. Yeah, I actually thought about years ago, looking into getting one. But I'd like to. It'd be cool to try one first and then see, but just to make sure.
Well, you might be able to rent one. Like he went for a ride up on the trails. Was that last week? And he said when he got there, they were loading up one, because someone had just finished a ride and it was identical to his. So I guess someone had rented it and gone on the trails. So there might be something in your area.
Yeah, I should look into that. That'd be cool.
Yeah.
I think I can't really think of anything else off the top of my head. Those are kind of the questions I had, but you're more than welcome to tell any more stories if you want or anything. Do you have anything off the top of your head or if anybody in the comments has anything else they want to ask?
Ask me anything. I'm an open book.
We'll give it a few more minutes and wind it down. Did I do okay this time?
You did awesome.
Cool. I've been working on that.
Yeah.
Let me bust through the comments real quick, make sure I didn't miss anything. Because I know they were coming in kind of fast earlier. Are the leaves start changing up there?
Yeah, we went for a drive yesterday, and I noticed that just yesterday. They're all starting to turn.
Yeah, same here. Like within just a couple days, just across the road, there's a bunch of orange and starting to turn reddish. I want to take a drive down the mountains in PA and check them out. I think it'd be awesome.
Yeah.
But I guess we'll cut it off here. I mentioned empathy is one of the most important characters. Yeah, definitely. For sure, you gotta be very empathetic when hiring somebody. For sure.
Yeah, I think.
Go ahead.
I think sometimes. I don't know. I'm not talking to you specifically, but I think sometimes some of the people that we work with might have a lot on their mind, might be dealing with something in particular that day that they don't, feel they might be able to talk with their helpers about. So I think it's really important that, we bear in mind that you might be having, a crappy day, even if you got a smile on your face.
So true. Very true. And it's okay to be open and talk,
Oh, absolutely.
Ask questions if you're having a bad day, hey, what's on your mind? Or
yeah, and that's kind of why I asked about the boundaries, if I had something on my mind, should I keep that to myself? Or, is it okay to talk about it a little if it's making me have a crappy day?
Right. Yeah, as long as you're not or the other way, it could go either way, as long as you're not over I don't
want to overstep my
and telling people so much about what's going on in your life, not so much the bad things or if you need to talk to somebody, but saying I don't want to give any examples, so I'll just leave it at that. But yeah, I think it's okay to talk. as long as you have that relationship or friendship, that the openness with each other, that
Yeah.
you kind of got to feel it out. Like, I mean, you may be closer to one of your um, guys than the others. So,
Oh, absolutely.
and same goes with me. Like I said, I have my helpers that I'm more close with, that I can talk to and joke with, of course. So, did you have anything else you want to add? But thanks for wearing the shirt again, by the way. That's awesome.
No problem. Got to advertise. I don't think so. I mean, there's been a lot of pranks and shenanigans and good times.
And I'll have you on more. Obviously, you're always
Well, I
welcome.
got work webcam now, so everybody can see and hear.
Yeah. But all right, I want to thank everybody in the chat for hanging out, and I want to thank Sarah for being on, and everybody for the questions. And I'm sure you'll see her more. She's always on, and whenever I have any kind of panels or anything like that. So,
I try to be. Yeah.
all right, well, thank you, Sarah, and I hope you have a good day, and we will see you next time. And thank you, everybody. Enjoy your day. We'll talk to you later, Sarah.
Okay, bye.
Bye. Thanks, guys. I want to thank Sarah again for being here, and thank you for all the questions. And we will see you guys on the next one. And look out for the next Quadcast and the next live. And enjoy your day. Try to live your best life. Later, guys. Sorry, I usually have the outro ready. Bye, guys.